It's a common problem in an ageing population is that you've lost that appetite. You tend to lose maybe a bit of taste and food desires as well, but I think it's important to remember that variety is what matters. Also remembering that it's not about how big a meal is and that something small is just as nutritionally valuable as something that might be a huge meal.
It's really important that we all eat well, get plenty of protein and lots of vegetables and fruit. So, going into older age, you really have to be careful with your diet.
I like to think of my have something on toast range of foods that you might want to include. A good grainy bread can be a really good valuable source of fibre, and then you can just top that simply with something from the cupboard like a tin of baked beans or a bit of tuna. You can go for a bit of cheese and tomatoes. So those sorts of things are just as nutritionally valuable as something that you might spend hours cooking in the kitchen. We often have this focus on fresh is best and complicated is best, but really our frozen foods, our frozen veggies in the freezer sections at the supermarket are just as good as having the fresh products as well. And they obviously shelf stable, easy to cook and easy to prepare. And our tinned foods as well. So there's a great range of tinned foods available, like your corn, your peas, up to canned soups and things. And it's always good to keep a little stock there, just in case there's a day where you're not really up for cooking much, or if you're just learning how to cook as well, then these are a good staple to keep handy. We don't always have to eat fresh fruit either. There are alternatives to that. So we can simply keep some dried fruits. We can keep some frozen berries, frozen mangoes in the freezer. They're often a little bit cheaper than the fresh variety as well, and can be used in a wide range of meals, such as a smoothie or a breakfast, and even up through to lunches and dinners. It's probably another myth really, is the cereal is full of sugar. There are definitely a lot of good options out there, and just some simple tips to how to pick a cereal is just to look at what's written on the box. If it says high in fibre, if it's got the words whole grains, if it's got nuts and seeds and dried fruits in there, then it's probably going to be a good option and give you a lot of fibre, which is great for bowel health. The same for dinner. Again, it doesn't have to be overly complicated. So look at ways to keep it simple, or bringing in some of those convenient foods. For example, your frozen veg, which will last a lot longer than a fresh veg, are just as nutritionally valuable as something that you might buy yesterday from the supermarket. There's such a wide variety of home delivery services these days, and a lot of them do value health. And you have got your frozen pre-cooked meals that you can access from a supermarket as well. Water is always going to be best. I think that's our best fluid. In terms of other drinks that are going to give you some health benefits, then your dairy foods as well. So something like a milk-based drink will be a good substitute. Coffee is still a hydrating drink that you can include. Nice cups of tea. And sometimes another reason why people are maybe not eating as well is because they've lost that other person in their life, that significant other. And that takes away maybe the person who was preparing the foods, but also the person who was sharing their foods with them. So we're often talking to people about how to prepare simple dishes, maybe some really easy cooked lunches and dinners, just to help make sure that they stay well nourished without overwhelming them with what they're having to do in the kitchen.
Talk to your GP about how to eat well. Visit the Active and Healthy website for more information about healthy eating. South Eastern Sydney Local Health District acknowledges the support of all community members, organisations, groups and local councils that made this video possible.